Okay, just to continue our discussion on NIST cybersecurity framework, we're trying to take this a control at a time, and really break it down into just plain English. So we are on IDGV, which is Identify, Govern, and it's control number 3. And the actual wording on that control is legal and regulatory requirements regarding cybersecurity, including privacy, civil liberty obligations, are understood and managed. So in English, what the framework is getting at is that the organization understands the regulations, and all the key stakeholders understand the regulations, the um, other rules and regulations that you're accountable to, that you're trying to accomplish. And one of the easiest things, in my mind, is the newer industries that are being held accountable to the FTC safeguards rule. That rule is that the core of it is only about 3 pages long. And of course, the risk assessment is one of those things that is a requirement. But there are also some other requirements that everyone needs to be aware of. So one example is, or two, is that encryption is required in the regulation. There is a requirement for MFA, multi-factor authentication, in the regulation. Now, both of those are things we would typically cover in a risk assessment, but I think it's important for everyone involved in that entity that's accountable to the FTC safeguards rule to understand that, oh, wait a minute, not only are we doing a risk assessment, but specifically we have to have multi-factor authentication in order to be in compliance with this regulation. So that level of understanding and detail is, I think, what is the framework is really trying to get at, and to make sure that the entity understands that and manages that. So hopefully that helps, as far as just kind of a little more of a plain English version of that control. And we'll move on to the next one.